Oh boy, now I have not to this day talked about the One Punch Man manga, but if you follow me on Twitter, then you know it was, I believe, around Christmas time that I marathoned the living shit out of the one manga, because remember, there's two mangas of One Punch Man. There's the webcomic that is just done strictly by the writer. He does the art and the story, and then there's the one that's the revamped one with the really gorgeous art and all that shit. I'm talking about the webcomic one because that's further ahead, and the revelation, the insanity, which is why I'm talking about this chapter, because One Punch Man manga, I kind of just like to keep that shit to myself, and eventually, you know, I'll talk about the anime. But oh my gosh, blast in this chapter. Now, we only got a little bit of a silhouette, and this was 18 years ago, and a lot of theories are going down the shithole right now, because you gotta think, okay, people are still clinging on to the whole thing of Saitama is Blast, but how could that possibly be when Saitama is 25 years old, and this flashback took place 18 years ago? So there's no possibility that Saitama could have been a grown man 18 years ago when he met Tatsumaki. Like, when he met Tatsumaki, he was already a grown man, so how could that possibly be Saitama? So unless there's some sort of time travel shit, maybe Blast is Saitama from the future, something along the lines of that, then yeah, there's no way that this is the exact same person. It could be something from a different dimension, some crazy shit like that, but that is not exactly the same person. Now, a lot of people are theorizing as well, maybe it could be like the Hero Academia thing, where Blast, before he died or before he went away or whatever the hell happened to Blast, he left his powers to Saitama, and he kind of seen himself within Saitama, because if you look at that costume, you look what he says in the chapter, he basically says the same shit that Saitama says. He says, you know, I'm basically a hero for fun, you know, I got a job on the side, this is just a fun thing, and he has the costume just like Saitama. So there's something similar to them, but then at the same time, you can see the parallels between the two characters, and I can see one is going to play that up very, very well, because while Saitama is like, I'm gonna rescue everybody, I don't give a shit, like, you know, that's what I'm gonna do, I'm a hero, I'm gonna rescue you. And this one, Blast is kind of like telling Tatsumaki, yeah, don't think that you're always gonna be saved by heroes and shit like that. So you can definitely see a conflict right there. And in this chapter as well, right after that, we start getting introduced to this whole hunter thing, the Hunter Association, we're gonna call it. And you gotta think for a second, okay, if this is a whole different thing, this could potentially spawn a civil war amongst the heroes. Like, we could have the Hero Association and the Hunters, and there's gonna be a big thing. But why would one, you know, put Blast in there in a flashback and then kind of introduce this group, unless he's possibly the head of this hunter thing? Maybe he abandoned the Hero Association because he's seen the corruption and shit like that. And again, I just gotta go back to the theories and shit like that. People saying he was in, what is it, the God Pig or whatever inside, he was stuck in there. No, that's down the drain. Like, there's so many different things. People are theorizing right now, maybe he's related to Saitama. If we knew of some relatives of Saitama, then that would kind of be like feasible. But like, for it to just be like, yeah, that's Saitama's dad, or yeah, that's Saitama's brother, it would just kind of be like, huh? And seeing him with the hair and everything, it did look really similar to Saitama, the costume, and Saitama before he went bald and shit like that. So right now, everybody's left puzzling, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? Is that, like, that was Blast, but what happened to him since then? If Tatsumaki hasn't seen him basically in 18 years, it really makes you wonder. And honestly, that was just insane. And I know eventually we're gonna see Blast again, but just to see Blast right there is like, what the fuck is going on? Who the fuck is Blast? Like, one of the theories that I love that I've been seeing float around, and I really hope is true, and again, this would be insane, is if you've ever read Mob Psycho 100, there's a character in there that people are saying could potentially be Blast. Like, what if Mob Psycho 100 ends and the last chapter is like the dude becoming Blast? Oh my god, that would be fucking insane. And then with the end of the chapter, quickly to talk about Genos, where the scientist was like, so what do you do? Because Genos already had a lot of distrust in the Hunter Association, and he's trying to find the person that killed his homeland and all that shit like that. What if he actually decided to go to the other side, people are assuming. Thing about it is, what holds his kind of, I guess, dedication and kind of his reservations in a sense is Saitama is with the Hero Association, and he is dedicated to Saitama. Like, that's Sensei, I can't fuck with Sensei. So it would be a real big fuck up in Genos' mind as well to go against Sensei. So I'm kind of curious where that's gonna go. I mean, it would be a radical departure if he said, nah, I gotta go with the Hunters, this is something new. But he could double for both associations, simply because he has his loyalties to Saitama, but at the same time he want to go with the Hunters. That's gonna be insane. And overall, this chapter was a game changer and a half. First of all, introducing a little silhouette and a flashback of Blast, kind of throwing a lot of fucking theories out the window there. Then at the same time, this new Hunter Association, like, oh, and Genos, what he's gonna make up his mind, and I'm talking like there's gonna be a civil war, and it's gonna be insane. And I really hope that Blast has something to do with it. I mean, it could very well be that one is just throwing us a bone and we won't see Blast for another 2 or 3 arcs, or it could very well be that that was the setup for this upcoming fight, and maybe Saitama and Blast are gonna go at it. Oh my gosh, the number one and the real number one. Ooh, I can't wait. See ya. just had to give my reaction to this. Fucking insane. Let me know what you guys think. Theories on Blast, I love reading them. I've been trying to go through forums to see what people have to say, but I can't get enough of it, and I want to hear you guys' theories. What is up with Blast? Is that Saitama from another dimension, from another timeline? Is that somebody completely different? Is it a relative of Saitama? Who the fuck is Blast? And what do you think Genos is gonna decide? Personally, I don't think he'll abandon Saitama. I think he owes him too much, and in his mind, he has too much loyalty to him. But do you think that he's gonna double maybe? And eventually, like, Saitama's gonna say, hey, what are you doing? And what do you think about finding out Tatsumaki's reason to become a hero was Blast himself, and kind of seeing him in the past? It's like she basically almost caught up to her idol that made her want to become a hero to begin with, because she's number 2, he's number 1. It's like, what's going on? Who is Blast? Where is Blast? What the fuck? And your overall thoughts. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed anything about this video, make sure to drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.